So I can go out and see all of the big wonders that the sky does just for me. Give my mind loosen up so I can go out and see all of the big wonders that the sky does just for me. Sky, I could the sky, so like I wanna be alive. Walking through the sky, I could the eyes, so like I wanna be alive. Walking through the sky, I could the eyes, so like I wanna be alive. Walking through the sky, I could the eyes, so like I wanna be alive. Dive in the cold, I can't find deep in my soul a peace of mind. Leave it for now, leave it behind.
What is going on, everyone? How are you all doing tonight? Welcome to 2022. Happy New Year. Happy holiday. Hope your 2022 is off to a great start. Thank you, Kosho. Appreciate it. What's up, Rorka? How you doing? Bert's in the house. We've got almost a ranch. Harrison Beck is here. Thank you. This is the new pad I got in the MJ verse. So hopefully you all can come visit me sometime. We'll go into different areas of the condo. Not quite penthouse, as you can see out the big window and back there, but close. We're pretty high up. Hope 2022 is treating you all well. Maybe that might be on the 2023 roadmap. Andy, how you doing? Andy BHP Stables. So yeah, pretty excited to be here. Just chilling, having a good night. But we are here to talk Zed. It is Zed Run Thursday. So let's get in. Let's start talking all about what we're all here for. Zed Run. Red Snap, how you doing? Afternoon from Australia. Wow, nice. Thank you for tuning in. All right, so let's talk Zed. Let's talk about this 2022 roadmap. Crazy Cat, how you doing? So the 2022 roadmap, There are a few things that are talked about a lot. There are a few things that I think are kind of overlooked, and I want to try and fill some of those gaps. I know we've all had a chance to read it by now. We've all had a chance to kind of digest it a little bit. Chat, I would love to hear your thoughts on these points. You can go out of order, just stream of consciousness, spitball it to me here. What are your thoughts on this roadmap? So the first thing that they're talking about, early Q1. So to me, that says sometime January, if not early February latest. Um, they're talking about revamping the class system. So a few key points here that I see. One, ELO is being introduced. Now, for those of you that aren't familiar with ELO, ELO is a ranking system that's popularized from chess. And so what ELO does is basically just ranks two players against each other. If you're a very highly skilled player and you play a player that's not very skilled and you beat them, well, your ranking doesn't go up so much despite winning. Whereas if you're a not very skilled player and you play against someone who's very highly skilled and you beat them, then your score will increase dramatically. So it's really designed for kind of one-on-one interactions, not so much 12-1 versus 11 races. And even tournaments and things like that. So there's an alternative to ELO called Glico or Glyco. I'm probably mispronouncing it. But that is kind of developed and it's used in a lot of online multiplayer games. I believe Call of Duty uses something similar, League of Legends. It's not a perfect system, but it's a little better. So the idea of ELO, and there are variations of it. I would consider Glyco to be kind of a variation of it in a way. ELO, traditional ELO on itself terrifies me because I don't think it'll do a great job of really classifying the horses and where they should be. The other thing that's mentioned in this section is introducing more classes. So in a way of kind of combating plateauing. You know, there's some horses, and I forgot who said it, but another streamer mentioned it very well that almost feels like if you can't win free class 5, you should be in class 6. And, you know, that's your plateau. And you know, you need to be able to move down or move up accordingly. So I think that's good, but you know, there's been a lot of talk. I believe Keith from owner of the Crimson Chin had mentioned wanting a classless system, which I kind of liked and I kind of agreed with. But they basically flat out said here they're going to have classes. They're going to have more classes. Classes are not going away. I'm a little sad by this after rereading it through, after getting so excited about the hope, the chance of maybe not having classes. They're going to have classes. What up, Zed? Heads mango ice. Love it, love it, love it. Feel free to use that. Do not feel bad about that. I see the little joke you put in there. Good night, Moon. How you doing? Red Snap says that they like the roadmap. Can't wait to have party races and rewarding Genesis owners. That's pretty exciting. We'll talk about that in a minute. The next part. This is the part that scares me the most. Zed Run tokens. First of all, I'd like to say, like, first and foremost, I am not an expert in tokenomics whatsoever. I know nothing. I know that the partnership with Republic Crypto is huge. That's going to bring, hopefully, a quality to the release of this token. But the token itself is tied to, I think the word that they used was like underpin. It's underpinning racing, breeding, lending, guilds, everything in Zed. So if this token can be manipulated, failed, gamed in any way, it has a potential of really negatively impacting the Zed ecosystem. I'm not super familiar with a game like Axie. I'm a little familiar with Crypto Raiders. I know that they have two different types of tokens serving different purposes. And I almost like that token diversification because, again, like we're leaning extremely heavily on one single Zed Run token. And for that to survive, for that to be successful, you really have to have extremely well thought out all aspects of the platform, which I'm not saying the Zed team can't do it. If anyone can do it, it would be them. It's something that's very, very difficult to do, and you don't necessarily know how people are going to react. And again, try and manipulate or game the system to their benefit, so that could hurt things too. So the way that these tokens are going to be distributed are through in-game activities, gamification, And like that kind of ties into my concerns a little bit. Here's an example. And basically, and this is for just placeholder for position only. That's not necessarily exactly how it's going to look, what the ratios are going to be, et cetera, et cetera. But by putting horses in the stud farm, I get tokens. Okay, cool. But then by breeding a horse with another particular type of horse, you would also get those tokens. Well, if that's like locked to a certain thing, certain, blood type, breed type, whatever, like is it worth it for me to breed, hypothetically, in order to get these tokens, or with the chance of, hey, I don't have enough money to breed with a horse that I want that fits that criteria, or I'm really unsure about the offspring, maybe I don't like the way the base ability works or looks, or if I'm using, Dan Shan's tool, if you don't like any of the scores associated with those horses, like, is it really worth me getting that token then for the sake of fulfilling that and potentially wasting or losing a horse, or giving up my horse's blood or bloodline? Like, what is the value? There's like a lot of depth to the actions into gamification itself that I don't think it's really a point I see talked about too much, but it's super, super, super important. Is there value in taking action for that? Is what I'm going to do worth the amount that I get back? Is my give less than what I'm going to be taking? So then on top of it, there are also growth incentives and things for existing users. So talking about how these these tokens are going to be distributed. So one thing I find unique is that these phases each have a timeline. So this is the initial airdrop coming in Q1. So this is going to go to, number of horses you have, the type of horse, skin, race, horse holders, length of ownership. They did clear up in Zed Discord that moving between wallets should be okay. They're going to show us the calculation before it's out. Not something I'm terribly worried about there. So it sounds like this is going to be the initial airdrop is going to be the first aspect that we see of this. Despite Phase 2 Racing saying Q1, I could see it being not the same date as the airdrop. I could see there being a gap within that. So that's going to look at class, tournament type, tournament length, special events. So this to me is something I am excited for, at least this aspect of it, because this to me builds out the incentive to race in a higher class. This is how you can add prestige to high classes. That really is, from what I'm hearing right now, Class 1's basically a desert. I don't have any horses in Class 1 anymore. I'm so happy for that. But I think this could really fix, in a way, the class system. And also around this time is when they're going to start moving from just Weth to Weth and token, and then eventually to token. That's outlined here. And then we have racehorse retirement. Again, really cool mechanic to deflate the horse population. But how is that going to, like, how much of that am I going to get back? Like, is that worth me selling? Is it worth me trying to breed it more? Is it worth me trying to sell in the secondary market? Like, there are so many different options and facets to this. It's not just, hey, your horse is retired, boom, done. That's not your only option. So that will be interesting to see. Again, what's that balance of, I'm giving up my horse, what is the return I get back? The one thing I'd love to see added to this, and this is, by the way, coming out in Q2, is put the names back into the name pool, please. I feel like anytime anyone names a horse with a great name, it ends up being a donkey. Let's give some second chances coming back around. And then also in Q2 would be renting. So this is something that I was mentioning in chat that a handful of people are excited about. The way that this is worded is very interesting. It appears that this is only for unsold Genesis horses. And these horses will be owned by Zed. So instead of dropping the remainder of the horses, they're going to keep them. They're going to rent them out to people. A benefit to the community, though, is that not only will we be able to rent these out, theoretically, but a portion of the race rewards will go back to not only the person that rented the horse, but the community as a whole. So that's kind of cool. That's kind of exciting. Thing to look at. And then talking tournaments. Before we talk tournaments, one thing I want to talk a little bit more about the token. Um, and they didn't mention in the roadmap. Doesn't mean it won't happen. Doesn't mean it will happen. But I think the next logical phase then is to try and shift away from OpenSea once you move completely to the token and have that in-house first-party marketplace where you are buying, selling, trading horses with the Zed Run token. That only makes sense to me. That helps keep the kind of like economy all in a single place. That can help with just kind of controlling the economy. It could also be kind of a bad thing, taking away that OpenSea market. I don't know if there'd be any controls placed on it or what that would look like. I would think not. I would hope not, but you never know. But I think that's something that I'm interested to see. I Zed is moving towards an all-encompassing, all-in-one platform. They're doing it for a handful of reasons. I don't think any of them are necessarily wrong. But it'll be interesting with this token. Before I move on to tournaments, just want to do a quick circle back to chat, see how everyone is doing. Across different wallets for the token, absolutely. Me too, Black Dog Stables. Me too. Apps Babe, how you doing? Star Blue, what is going on? Andy BHP Stables says they have said it's an in-game token rather than a currency. That would suggest it's not going to be exchange traded. Perhaps pegged to $1 for easy user adoption like a stablecoin. I agree with you, Andy. I agree with you. Said Gen Rent was for new stables only. It did, but like, how could they theoretically enforce that? Like, that would be interesting. If you buy and sell horses in token, how does cash get into the game, and what happens to the ETH value? Right. Because I can't imagine you wouldn't not be able to sell on OpenSea, but it's going to be interesting. It's going to be really, really interesting to see how that plays out. Like, does cash just more natively come in directly through the Zed site? Ultimately, I think that's what Zed wants. But I think this really cuts out a lot of the secondary experience. Excuse me, especially for like newer stable owners, newer players. Now the onboarding can take place completely on the Zed site, which in a way is a good thing. As far as buying, wrapping, if that's even needed, getting your token if it's 1-to-1, it'll be very, very interesting. What up, JMO? How you doing? Buying and selling ETH and playing Zed token. Buying tokens by card from Zed. Yep, I could totally see that. Totally see that. That's going to add to accessibility of the platform and make onboarding so much easier. How do you get money out with the token? Convert to ETH or to dollar? That's a really good point, Star Blue. I would think it would have to be... Like, it makes sense. I can't envision Zed just completely going away from ETH. I don't know. But yeah, how do we get our money out? If it's not going to be on an exchange, which I agree, I don't think it is, that's kind of terrifying. The way to get money out is to sell a horse. Yeah, or to try and go to OpenSea and try and get ETH. Keep the comments going. Keep the comments going. Some really, really good points brought up in chat. We're going to switch over now to talk about tournaments. $9.5 million available 2022 for owners and renters. They're going to add some fun new eligibility conditions. This is happening in Q1. So blood, breed, genotype, 0% place record, color, maybe a super coat, skin type, past type. Is that skin type? Part of skin type? Party mode. Seasons. Daily leaderboard, seasons leaderboard. So I wonder if there are going to be bonuses for the leaderboard within each season. I think that could be kind of cool. Like getting token bonuses. Then they go and talk about where they were promoted in 2021. It was a big year. Talk about their advisors. And then talk about team growth. Some new names. So Alex McMahon is one name I want to highlight on here. She and her team put in these surveys right here. So by clicking this, it's a Google form. You get to give your feedback. So if you have concerns about the token, you have concerns about the tournament, you have concerns about renting, this is the most direct way to get into Zed's ears and eyes about your thoughts on all of this. So I just put the link in chat there. Please, 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 if you have any thoughts, whether extremely positive, negative, in between, fill in these surveys. There are multiple surveys on here. So each section has its own survey. Please, please, please check it out. Please, please, please do that. And then just for grins, I thought we would take a second and watch the video, the little promo video. And we'll catch up on chat right after.
Almost ready. 2, 1, go. Crimson wins.
That is the Zed Be First video. Any thoughts on the video? Getting you hyped? It got my heart rate going up a little bit. Got the heart rate going up a little bit. Yes. Well, I wonder. So Andy said it'll continue both formats for now. I wonder if that change is going to come in like in the same quarter as launch, or how long that's going to last. Yes, absolutely. All right. So the next thing I want to talk about tonight is a quick little stable update. Those of you who have been watching me for a while know I have a promotional program. It's called MJ for All, where I help to try and give back through donations. It gets you a chance to get a free horse at the end of the month. I said we're going to start that back up in January. We're going to delay it one more month. There's a piece of it I want to address from a previous winner. Everything's going great. The winner wants to help give back to the community even more. So we'll be officially relaunching in February. So what you get for that is anyone who donates, whether it's $1 or $100, you get a chance to win a unnamed, unraced, unbred horse. And if you are the highest donator throughout the course of a month, calendar month, you get certain extra perks and benefits. So you could get a free breed, you could get another free offspring, you could get a stable evaluation written out up to 10 horses. Lucky, how you doing? Lucky in the house. Veggie Dave, we'll absolutely be doing horse evals later for sure. Black Dog says, I wonder if horse aggression was a teaser. Maybe. So as part of that, though, it's in order for this program to succeed, while I'm talking about it, I need to continually invest in new and good horses, which is where some of that money goes to improving the stable, to improve the quality of the output. I was able to purchase a Z2 Legendary Nakamoto Colt. Currently 6.25% winner. Let's check out these details. It is, if we look at its positions, it really doesn't like finishing worse than 6th outside of one race, right here where it finished 9th. It's got a handful of frees, it's got some paid, but this is fairly left-leaning. We just need to get 132 out of 16 races, 37% place rate. I would like to see these numbers up a little bit more, but I think this is going to be a great addition to the MJ for All and the MJ Legend program that I'm super excited to launch in February. On top of that, I was gifted as a little New Year's holiday present by some of you. I don't know if you're here tonight in chat, but Living Hope, Goosey McGee, MJ's Army, Mauve Lake MJ, Murder Weapon is not. We'll talk about him in a minute. Stukas? Were all gifted to me because they are Suave Mauve. And as some of you may or may not know, apparently, if you're not from the United States, maybe if you are from the United States, I still say it wrong, but I say it incorrectly. And so it's a running joke in Zed. People like to make fun of me. So then at the new year, I was barraged with a bunch of Suave Mauve horses. But what that means for all of you is chance at Suave Mauve Supercoats. So those will be coming your way in the coming month. Look at this as a potential giveaway in February. Also, 4,000 followers and 1,000 followers on Twitch. So we'll have to do something extra special for that. In addition to that, I also purchased Dream and Journey, a Z9 Genesis Buterin Colt, unraced and unbred. So super excited for him. Gonna hold on to him for a bit. Haven't decided what to do with him yet. Chat, if you have an unbred, unraced horse, would you race it or would you hold on to it for long-term value? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Oh, and then finally, I don't know if some of you saw my tweet the other day. Murder Weapon. I've done a handful of streams on Murder Weapon, how I acquired Murder Weapon, and maybe I can revisit that, especially for some of the newer followers. I bought this horse with 6 races for 0.16. And this is filtered on paid races at 1,014. Its 2 best distances. It just crossed 50 overall paid races. It has 36 races at 1,400. It is a 33% paid winner, 50% show rate at those distances with 154% ROI. This horse is so much fun. Just got up in class 3. You can see here, and 1 paid class 3. So super pumped about that. But for those of you that are here now, I got a little something special for you. I just put, right before this stream, Murder Weapon in the stud barn for 0.03 ETH. It's right around $100. So if any of you are interested, go check out Murder Weapon. I believe all 3 studs are available. Little plug, posting his link in chat. Check it out. Just kind of going over notes. Oh, it's time for a new segment. We are going to go. It's joke time. We'll pop off Zed for a minute. So joke time tonight. I have a horse joke that I want to try and do weekly for all of you. This one I saw is not my own. I cannot take full credit for this, but I think it's absolutely hilarious. So this week's horse joke is: a horse walks into a bar. The bartender says, "You come in here an awful lot. Think you might be an alcoholic." To which the horse says, "I don't think I am," and promptly vanishes. Following so far? So, you see, this is based off of Descartes' famous philosophy line, "I think, therefore I am." But I couldn't explain that before the rest of the joke, because that would have been putting Descartes before the horse. Thank you. I'll be here all night. Let's get into some evals. What do you say we head on over to the shop? Let's do some horse evals. Why the long face? Reed says. Veggie Dave says, anyone else declassing this week? I have about 8 horses that have dropped total net 70 plus class points just today. Wow, that's incredible. Boots in the Booth is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone welcome Boots. Look for some very fun, exciting content from Boots and I in 2022. That's all I'm going to say. Appsbabe says, race, what value is there if the offspring are no good? Veggie Dave says, race, always race. Aquila Creek says, live from Thursday night. Oh, I like that. I like that. Evening, everyone. How you doing, Aquila? Tool Shop, I appreciate the eval. 2000. Oh, Tool Shop. That's the name of the horse, JMO. Absolutely. So we had one from. Awesome. Yeah, throw them in chat. I'm going to scroll up a little bit. We had one. Someone put one in earlier that I wanted to hit. Let's see who. I don't want to miss it. I don't want to miss it. I'd feel horrible if I did. Okay. let's see here. Select for horses, curious to see. In game, scrolling through. I'll get there. I'll get there. Aggression. Okay, Sand Hill Road. That is the horse we are looking at right now. Sand Hill Road. Okay, so and I'm using right now to start, at least, we're using the context version of Zetalytics. So if you mouse over Zed Run and you go to Zetalytics context, that is where I'm doing this eval right now while this loads up. And then let's scroll down. We'll get boom. Okay, and then JMOE, your tool shop, we will do next. Thank you, Aquila. I appreciate the support on my brilliantly told horse joke. All right, so let's take a look at Sand Hill Road. So again, this is the context version. This is the, I don't want to be super like in the data. I just want to look high level, high level. So we have a race experience column, and this is the most important column of any column in this whole chart, this whole thing. If you are inexperienced, if you are unproven, if you are lightly raced, and you're showing some signs of life, some signs of performance, continue to race your horses there. You really, I mean, to just factor in potential for variance, for competition, you really need to increase that sample size, and that's what this race experience column is for, and that's why this column is so important. So right now, I see right here, at 16 and 22, you're profitable, you're left to you, and left leaning, fast and average. Cool. And with the U, you do normally see that speed go from fast to more average. And then, wow, 129 races. Okay, so average fee. And, okay, so it's mostly free races. Mostly free, at least. But I'm seeing Flames at 16. And I'm seeing a 13% win, 36% first through third. If you are racing, and this is a theme I'm seeing more and more, people are racing free for any reason. One, don't feel the horse can, race too well outside of free. Two, just testing. I would try, if your first through third percent is, higher than 35, we're talking 45 and up, start moving up in your entry fee. And really increase that, because that, to me, that says, hey, I'm absolutely crushing it. We talked about plateauing earlier. You're doing the opposite of plateau. You haven't reached your full potential if you're pulling in that performance. So whether you're racing freeze, whether you're racing $5 and getting that, that's when I, not financial advice, would look to up your entry fee. So we're going to switch this to paid. Just to kind of get a better idea of how this horse is actually performing. So 2 races at 22, 50% win, 50% first through third. You're running it fast, tight, unproven. So, and then right here, if we look at this, the 1600, which you had a lot of races in before, profitable 15 and 30. So 1600 is pretty well established for this horse. I would continue to go for it. 22, you're getting some fire there. It interests me. Looks like you had a class 5, a class 4. Here you're mostly class 5. So depending on what class this horse is in now, I would say definitely class 5 is where this horse should be racing, because it looks like the fire just falls off. Sorry, class 5 is where this horse should be racing. In class 4, the fire just completely falls off. And again, the profile of the U kind of fits this 1600 pretty well. That's what I would do with this horse. You seem to be doing just fine at 1600. But I'd be interested in exploring 22 just to see what is there. Let's flip over to Tool Shop. Tool Shop in the Tool Shop. I like it. Very on brand, JMO. Great timing there. Andy, BHP, what do you call a male chicken with no voice? I do not know. What do you call that? No problem, Veggie Dave. Happy to. Black Dog says, I'm looking at a horse and would like your okay thoughts if that would count for part. Yeah, of course that can. Yeah, you don't have to own the horse for me to evaluate it. Any horse you're interested in, I can take a look at. Absolutely. So JMO says with Tool Shop that he thinks 20 or 2000 is the best distance. Trying to subscribe, brother, but can't find where to do so. Oh yes, absolutely. So I don't, especially for those of you that are new. Let me just log in quick. I'll get that link in a minute. My bot is broken. But I do not have the ability to people to subscribe. Instead, I ask for donations. By not subscribing, I'm basically not going into the agreements with Twitch. I've told the story a handful of times, but basically they can use my likeness. I can't broadcast in other places. I know some of you prefer to watch my content on YouTube. I've even had a few people watch on Facebook. So I want to try and reach as large of an audience as possible. So in order to do that, I'm not able to have subscribers. But if you are interested, I will drop this link in chat. And you by no means have to at all. But let me just throw this in. One sec. There we go. And that's where you would be able to donate if you would like. Again, not required by any means. You can scan the QR code. That is my wallet if you prefer to donate in ETH or WETH. Otherwise, again, any amount is greatly, greatly appreciated, but in no means whatsoever required. So Tool Shop. Let's talk Tool Shop. So you liked 2000. Well-raced, profitable. All right, you. But you're profitable with it, so okay, average, below average, fine. That all kind of checks out. Average class of 2. We're still on paid for a filter, by the way. Average fee, so you're above kind of that 250 entry. But you're just kind of barely there. So maybe you lost some bigger fees, possibly. But performance standpoint, 18, 27, and you also got 18 and 2000. I almost like 18 a little better. It's more of a left U performance wise. You can see there's a big concentration here, whereas these are kind of scattered out. It's a lighter red. Looks like you should be racing class 2 to class 3. And overall, yes, you are kind of a light U horse. Let's check out 18 specifically. So if you click that, it'll update everything. So these white triangles are the different classes. So this is class 1 paid, class 2 paid, or class 2 paid, and class 3 paid. And you can see that even so many of these races have been in front of that. Each red triangle is an individual race that your horse has run. As far as where you should be going, so you've got some fire in class 3, class 2. Class 1 does not look like it's great, but yes, here we go. A left U, definitely a little heavier on this side in these first 3 versus these last 3 positions. I would try 18 a little more. You've got more races there. You've got the same average entry fee. Your fire's higher. Your win rate's a little higher. Your first through third rate is significantly higher. I would do that. And then for a down button, looks like you've got some options here at 1,000 as well. So I would try 18 a little more with this horse. It seems to, again, the profile seems a little better. The performance seems a little better. It's close. And again, long term, you might see 2,000 and eventually end up creeping up. But it's I like 18. 18 looks fun, for sure. Let's see who is next. Can you do Gate Occupied? Just bought him. Ooh, that's exciting. Have you raced him at all yet, Alex? And I believe too with the donations, you can also set that up to be recurring, much like a subscription. All right. So gates occupied. Paid races. So we got 65 here. And again, if you have more than the races, more races than 65, it takes about a day or two for me to update everything. But this will give you kind of a good overall holistic view. Okay, so yeah, seeing $2.50 entries. Let's start here. So profitable. Yes, 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 yes. Boom. Okay. So 14, 16, 20, 24. A-shaped, right U, left U. So 16 experienced. You're getting fire about half the time. 15% win. First through third at 30. 25% win at 8 races. Okay, so when you have a horse like this, how I would race this horse, one, I would stay where you have profit to start. Again, you're kind of in that lightly raced, unproven stage with your number of races. So I would stay focused on where you have the profit. Then I would take this number right here. So it's you have 8 races. Your other kind of profitable races, you have 12, 13. This one you only have 3. JMO, thank you so much for the tip. Appreciate that, JMO. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That was incredibly generous. Really, really appreciate that. So I would take your profitable races. I would catch them up to this 12 and 13. So I'd go 4 more here. Your classes are kind of similar. And I would go, 8, 9 here. But anywhere along the way, if you are not, you lose these percentage breakdowns, this performance breakdown, all of a sudden, 7 to 12 maintains 66% or 70%, then I would back off of that a little bit. Because it looks like your one top placement was a win. And you are not getting fire. I would start right here. You've got some fire. You've got some performance. See what happens. It's only a handful of races, low entry fee, and then see what this breakdown is like. How's the win? How's the first through third? How does that hold up over time? Looks like you've got some potential down buttons at 1200 to maintain class, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue for you. And I would recommend racing. Oh, it looks like you can do some things definitely in class 2 when you are more at the preferred distance. Let's see. JMO, thank you so much. Savage She-Hulk. Say that 5 times fast. Savage She-Hulk. Savage She-Hulk. Try it. It's harder than you think. It is harder than you think. Savage She-Hulk. Savage She-Hulk. Savage She-Hulk. Savage She-Hulk. Savage She-Hulk. It's like I feel like that's just like I don't know, what is that? A Cockney greeting? Like that I just made up and it really doesn't mean anything. Savage She-Hulk. Yeah, no, that's bad. We're not going to do that anymore. All right, Savage She-Hulk for paid races. Let's check that out. So, okay, unproven, lightly raced, unproven. Let's see here. Average class 4, 3. All right, so you've got performance here at 12 and 16. It's still so early for this horse. You're getting some fire there. I would try and catch the 16 up to the 12. Again, you've got some performance there. Race it out, see what happens. With all that. Veggie Dave, thank you so much for that. You're the best, MJ. Stream is always educational and entertaining. More num num juice. I will we'll have to make that happen. 2022, the year of the num num. So this is, you haven't raced at many distances yet. It looks like sprint and mid. I would run a few more here. Get these numbers where you see some performance. Baseline 10. Throw a few races at the other distances just to see what's out there, just to see how that performs. Go off of your base. So my general advice to new horse owners, if you have a horse that you haven't raced, start your Griffin in either the sprint distance or the marathon. If you don't see flames of performance, switch that. If you don't see flames of performance, go in the middle. if you're totally unsure and don't know where to go, race your horse wide a handful of times. See if anything sticks out to you. Flame, a placement, anything. If something sticks out, then go down that path. Okay, it's not going to be the end path. It's not going to be the final path that you're in. But it one sec, got to set this up. It is going to be a quick way for you to identify how to best race your horse in a economical way. You can start in free races, no shame in doing that. But again, if you see extreme performance, move that up to paid. Give me 30 seconds. I can't type today. Gotta send this quick message. All right. So get a horse, race it out, race it wide. Look for any sort of sign of life and performance. And then after you do that, really start to drill down. It may not be the final answer that you're looking for, but then adjust. So give it 10-ish races, 15 races, 20 races. Still not liking what you're seeing, adjust. So Savage She-Hulk, go down 12, go down 16, see what happens. You're almost there with 12. You've got some fire. I really don't think the 50%, I mean, it's only 2 races, is going to hold up, but you never know what you have here. You have some performance, so let's explore that a little more, Ermic. Oh, mostly free races. Okay, well, here's paid. So, like, here's some paid evidence for you. Let's switch this, since Ermic said mostly free. Let's switch that back over. Jay Lip in the house. What's going on, Jay Lip? How you doing? Happy to have you here. We are doing some Zed Run horse analysis using my website, mjinformatics.com. For those of you following along that want to review your horses, this is completely free to use. Go ahead, hop in the tool. This is the new version. You will be able to evaluate your horses. They're just like I am doing on stream tonight. So when we switch from Savage She-Hulk, again, say that 5 times fast, from paid to all different types of races. So here's your 12, 27, and 54. So that's what we talked about earlier. It's mostly free, but you're getting that really high percent. So now let's try and bump that up. Let's try and do more $2.50 races, and go from there. All right, moving on. Thank you, JMO. And yes, again, thank you, JMO and Veggie Dave, for the tips. So generous. Ryan Temple, thank you for the compliment on the new background. It is, so this is a Van Gogh tee that I actually made myself. If you know, you know. Twitch Insane Machine says, hey, MJ, can you take a look at chocolate mocha? I absolutely can. Not a problem. Chocolate mocha. There's a white chocolate mocha, too? Woo! Getting me thirsty over here. JMO says, real fun horse, that one. Can win high value paids, 18 to 24. Love that. That's super exciting. I have not real successful except in the freeze for the tournament last week. Ooh. We're gonna have to check that out in a minute. Avon Fields, thank you for that. Let's check out Chocolate Mocha first. So this is all races right now that we're looking at. I'm seeing some free. I'm seeing some paid. I'm seeing some downclassing with free at 2,600. Awesome, but hard to get into. And then again, where's the money showing up here? 16, 22, and 2,000. So there may be something in kind of more of those marathon distances. Possibly. So class 5, class 4, 25% win, only 4 races, only 6 races. So these again look like, yeah, right use for sure. That doesn't mean you can't be profitable though. Not at all. Where are you getting their flames at 18 and at 14? You've got some profitability there. I like that you've got, so again, another analogy that I use when using my site and my tools is that each one of these columns is a piece to the overall picture you should be using when evaluating your horses. So if we look at 18, okay, we're unproven, so that's kind of a negative. But profitable, boom, that's one thing that fits into place. Some awesome speed, only 3 races, average class of 5. You've got a average of not free, so you're paying to get in the races. You've got a 33% fire, which is the highest fire rate of any distance, and a 33% win rate. So you're still kind of on the right side of things, but you're getting fire there, which says that, hey, when you did get it, it looks like you probably won, would be my guess. I'm seeing a lot of the pieces of the puzzle come together here. Will that translate to class 4? I'm not sure. Let's take a little scroll down. Doesn't look like it, as you're mostly just getting your fire in class 5. So I would get this horse in class 5. I would race a few more times at 18 first. That's how I would prioritize this. Then, again, if I were racing your horse, not necessarily financial advice, you've got 4 races here at 16 with some performance very close to 18 distance-wise. I would kind of check that out too. Right now, you're running that left you. Again, that could change. And you're fast. Again, pieces of the puzzle, lightly raced, profitable, left you, fast. 4 races, no fire, but paid average fee, win in first through third and 7 to 12. So let's start with 16, 18. If those get those again closer to 10, if you don't see performance there, you've got other options you can pursue. Avon Field says, okay, yeah, what's good, everyone? Not sure if you saw it, if MJ saw it since it just got posted on Twitter, but the templates and setup are there for auto gate selection. Let's pull that up. Let's get that going. I'm going to pull up Twitter right now. We will take a look at this shortly here. So I'm assuming that came from the official Zed account, Avon Field. Take a little break from our evals. What account are those under, Avon? I'm not seeing it. Zed status? Got flames and sprinting. Nice. It's defo not Cockney, Andy says. Thanks. No problem, Alex. It was a dev. I can tag you. Yeah, go ahead and tag me, Avon Field. I'll bring it in. Let's check that out for sure. We'll do one more eval, then we'll go check this out. Yeah, Avon, if you could tag me, that'd be fantastic, man. Oh Jesus, Andy, I'm not gonna say that on stream. Cyrene says, I actually did screenshots of all my horses MJ sites to clip into my Excel file so that I can access this data faster. Now I need to update regularly, but I love the tool. Thank you so much, Cyrene. Really, really appreciate that. So you can screenshot. You can also go down here and you can just click this button right here and you can download as an image the whole kind of report of your horse. So that might be an easier, faster way for you to get it. You can also save as PDF, which is kind of cool. Love the new background. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we just did chocolate mocha. Then Avon Fields brought that up. Avon, did you get that tag in? Let's see if it's there. Avon, I'm not seeing it. That's that account. All right, we'll move on to the next one then. Goodnight Moon thought this was my actual new apartment. Yeah, it is, and this is my actual workshop. Black Dog says, could you do Obsidian? It's the one I'm looking at. Absolutely. Here's a little something for you all to chew on. Dusko Popov, the Z2 Nakamoto that I bought, that is mostly left leaning. I think it's all first through 6 except for a 9th. I bought that intentionally unraced and unbred? Think about that for a minute. I like to make data-driven decisions. Um, so, and I guess to further add to that, those of you who were, and this is related, responded with your stable name to the "if you know" tweet. I will be reaching out to you this week into next week. So keep your DMs open. So you're looking at this one. We've got profitability 12 and 14. I like to see that together. Okay, 12, 14, 16, cool. 19 races paid. Let's just switch to paid. Let's filter out any freeze here. When I'm looking to buy a horse, I really base my decision off of paid performance. Excuse me. That's how I'm going to get my money back. That's how I'm going to increase value. So that's really, really important factor for me when I look to buy a horse. I like looking at Haku for that. I like Know Your Horses for overall just kind of general performance. I like my site, obviously, for dialing in what distances you should be focusing on and how you should be racing your horses. And then I love Stacked Knox for actually selecting the races themselves. So that's kind of how I use the different tools and sites within Zed. If you are looking for resources, if you are new, mouse over Zed Run, you can go to resources. You'll see not only links to tools, but also you're going to get podcasts, blog posts, YouTube videos, all relating to Zed and NFT gaming. So highly, and that updates every few hours. So it's just a constant, forever scrolling feed. Definitely check that out if you are new to Zed and want to learn. You'll learn from some of the best people in the ecosystem. All right, so Obsidian. So now we switch this to paid. We've got 7 races, average class of 4. Let's scroll down here. We're gonna start our eval down here. So it looks like it still can race in class 4 paid because you're getting that 50, 55% and higher at some of your preferred distances. We know these are profitable. So I think you're pretty solid there. So if we look here, we're lightly raced. You're getting fire in all of these. Fire, 100% fire at 1,600, 6 paid races. That's really tempting. You might be on the wrong side of variance here. That's fun to me. That's appealing. We got 7 races here. Profitable. Whoa. Look at this win. All of your first through thirds have been wins at 7 races. Okay, I like that. Same thing here. This horse loves to just flat out win. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, right here. 6 wins. Whoo, she. All right. So I would ask Black Dog, like, what is the price for this? What is the like, this would be a perfect time for me to, like, let's look at let's pull up this horse on Know Your Horses. Obsidian? And okay, it's a Z16 Nakamoto. It's a cross. Buy now for 0.14. In the current market, that feels a little high. But it's a knock, but it's a cross, but it's a Z14. So it's like you've got a lot going for it, good and bad. It has, I mean, it's got basically a third of its price right now in winnings at 30 races. You might be able to make that back. And you've got, I can't do the math, but the profit isn't too far behind. That's another thing when looking at horses. You've got to figure out, okay, how many races has it had? How much has that made? And then if I'm going to buy it, how long approximately could that take me to make that money back? So you're looking at, those ratios were pretty tight. Not too bad. This horse is interesting. I feel 0.14 maybe a little high, but could be kind of cool. I love the flames at 16. I love that it still has some experience. Like, you don't have this horse totally figured out. Those horses are my favorite to buy. Case in point, Murder Weapon. So definitely, yeah, I think it's interesting. Choice is yours, but I think it's an interesting horse for sure, Black Dog. And you've got some quality performance to back it up. I mean, this high of a rate, if this holds, I'd even consider bumping up the entry fee a little bit. JMO. says, MJ, please evaluate this interesting horse. The speed at 1400 is ridiculous. I can see on Know Your Horses. What's your thoughts? Is 1400 a great opportunity? A guy messaged me asking for an eval. I've given him mine. What are your thoughts? I've asked him to watch your video and tip if he's really happy with eval. Oh, thank you so much, JMO. I appreciate that. So let's we'll pull it up in KYH and we'll throw it in my tool. Jace the Mind Sculptor. Whoa, that is an awesome name for a horse. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Lucky says a new strong racer 0.5 to spend. Anyone in chat got anything for sale? Avon, thank you for the tag. Appreciate it. We'll get to that tweet in a minute. All right. Okay, so 1400. Profitable, yes. Left you, yeah. So I have very, very fast on here. Not many horses have very fast. Very fast is like you are finishing top 3 a very, very, very high percentage amount of time. Like you are insanely fast. So having very fast as a speed of a horse that has a good amount of races is extremely rare. So I'm going to caveat that by saying this is only 3 races. So if we look at 1400, yep, here's that fast race right there. The question is, when you're in a situation like this with a horse, is that speed, is that performance, is that an outlier? And it's too early to tell at 3 races. So do we see, is there going to be fire? We don't have any fire yet. That's not a nail in the coffin. That doesn't mean it's not going to perform well. This is a case of I would get this horse racing, get this to 10 races, come back and see if this still holds up at very fast. Because this looks at speed holistically. This isn't just the top speed. This is kind of your average speed. Where are you running? I'd be interested in this. I don't know if it will hold. This horse just doesn't flame, period. So I would kind of take that off the table, because you've clearly got some profit here. Looking at paid races, 234. Like this is great right here, and that's 16. Okay, so here's another thing that I like: 1600. Profitable over a lot of races. 14 is right next to 16. Not all horses are like this, but some. That's another kind of piece of the puzzle on how this horse could perform long-term over time and could be extremely valuable. I'd keep racing 1400. That's super exciting to me. Super, 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 super exciting to me. Let's see if we can pull up this tweet from that Avon tagged me in. Thank you, Avon. Oh, Alex McMahon. We were just talking about her earlier. I like the stuff that she's really putting out. I like that she put out surveys, regardless of what you think of surveys. And we're gonna throw this in right now. Up in chat. Who we got in here? Steve Hogg Gaming. Thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's bring this over quick. All right. And we'll give it a little zoomy zoom for you all. So, for the love of God, Zed Run, please work on auto join next available gate feature that can triggered after selecting a race gate that is taken, so joining races runs a little smoother. Please and thank you. So Zed recently claimed or improved their, hey, this gate is already taken before you go through all that whole signing process, which is huge. But now, Alex, big Alex fan, we got you coming soon with a screenshot. Auto gate selection. To speed up the process of entering a race, turn on auto gate selection. Once enabled, the race window will direct you to select your racehorse, and the gate will be automatically selected without your confirmation. Wonderful. And then you can just say, don't show me this again. Turn it on. Like, yes. Thank you for the tag, Avon. Appreciate that. This is incredible. This is absolutely, absolutely awesome. Thank you, Alex, for tweeting this. Super, super exciting. Again, this is going to really just improve the quality of user experience. So when they make these roadmap changes, when they make onboarding easier, that experience is going to be so much smoother for you all. That is incredible. Let's see who else we got in here. We're right around the hour mark, and I know Metaverse Gaming's on tonight. We will be rating them after, so go ahead and stick around. We will hop right in. Hope this is a dev anyway. I didn't get. Oh, no, yeah, she's involved with like user experience and things like that. Zed Run Tools, yeah, until 2022. I saw that. Makes me kind of sad, but I'm excited for what they're going to come out with. Thank you, Avon. Catching up on chat right quick. Andy is running a horse in the pity. 4 wins in 6 seconds and 18 races. It's a funny old game. So sorry to hear that. Just worried to no down button. That Black O was tearing me up on the track, and it's at 0.35 right now. Wow. That's okay, so I mean that definitely is something you should factor in, as well as, yeah, no down button. If it's going to keep moving up, what is that ceiling going to be? Because if you can't get it back down, that's going to be stuck. But at that point, will the value have increased enough that you can maybe sell it for more? I don't know. One, no worries. Definitely a Magic the Gathering reference. Thank you, Cool Nix. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How long do horses get faster for, or is that still an unknown? So, it's kind of an unknown, and I think it's really just up to the role of Zed. So, this was without normalization applied. I did not have my top speed with wins by the moment my Genesis horse until 100, 150 races in. And they don't necessarily get faster or slower the more you race them, stamina aside. It's really just the competition, the variance, the performance of that horse. We'll go for maybe about maybe 5-10 more minutes. MJ, if you get a chance, can you check out Pure Excellence? Trying to downclass him, he does good everywhere so far. I've tried him at 26 and 1,000. Sure, let's take a look at Pure Excellence. Not a problem. Oh, Jace is your horse. Oh, no way, Steve Hawk. Nice. Yeah, in case you missed it, Steve Hogg, I'll just kind of give a quick overall. You did well at, I think it was 16 over a lot of races. The 14 was a little unproven, but had great performance, very fast, which is very rarely seen. I doubt that will hold, but the performance could still be there, especially when you pair that with those two distances are right next to each other. Usually you see performance like that, again, right next to each other. That can be a thing. So I'm super excited by 1400. Absolutely am. All right, so let's look at Pure Excellence. And as far as downclassing, so 18, and this is paid downclassing. It looks like 1,018. 18 may be more accessible to you. You're only getting your max point is 1, so 24, possibly even 2, but you are winning there somewhat. Or sorry, getting top 3 at least. So I think you've got some options here as far as downclassing. So yeah, 22, 18, and 1,000. And again, if you mouse over, you can see all of the attributes going across, so you don't have to try and like line it all up. Very slow, below average, lightly raced, not profitable, and right leaning. This is kind of, these bottom ones is where I would look to stay focused. For Pure Excellence, J. Reese. J. Rice? J. Reese. Can you please take a look at Insanity? Absolutely, Goodnight Moon. Absolutely. I have a horse that is very inbred and has crazy variants. Check out the ancestry to Freda. I think I just raced against Freda the other day. All right, while this loads, we'll pull. Man, I'm so bummed about Zed Run tools not being up. Because I love doing that for Ancestry. All right, so Insanity paid 13, A average. You've got some profit. Yeah, you're kind of split there. You've only got 2 races at 14. You're 50-50. I would race. So I would play kind of that catch-up game right here. Here's where your performance is. They're close to, you get 12, 14, 16. They're all kind of close together. You're getting some fire at 16, which is pretty cool. So sign up some base ability. I would see what happens with this 14. Get that. I would get that to maybe half. I get that to like 7. Kind of catch that up to 16. Do a comparison, and then make your decision from there. So you've got really, I'd say, focus on one option now just for discovery, and then compare, basically these 3 and kind of see where you are at. As far as Freda goes, let's take a look at this horse's ancestry. Bobby Sue out of Compton, Fancy Boys. See, I don't know if Know Your Horses does that. They used to have their old. It's not really good for seeing inbreeding. That I'm aware of. But here is Freda. No problem, Jairus. No problem at all. So we're going to go ahead and wrap up for the Absolutely Golden Glow. We're going to go ahead and wrap up for the evening. We are going to raid Metaverse Gaming. It is their smoke show tonight, usually on Wednesday nights. We're going to go ahead and head over there. And they're going to announce their big tournament, so do not leave. Tons of prizes. I believe it's free entry. Super, super exciting. No problem, Ryan Temple. If your horse was not evaluated tonight, or you want a horse evaluation, or if you have a question about Zed, give me a follow on Twitter. I'm just at, let's see if the socials work. The bot was down. Yeah, the bot is still down. It's just XMJ_gaming X. It's the same as what you are. It's right here on the bottom of your screen, or Discord. Follow me, tweet at me, shoot me a DM, whether it's an eval or just a general Zed question. No question is too dumb. No question is too simple. Happy to help. Let's get more people in Zed. Let's grow together. Let's race better together. And let's have a great time in Novus Earth. I'm just going to pull up the raid for Metaverse here. Raid Metaverse Gaming MVG. Oh, raid is in progress. Okay. All right. We will go ahead and head on over. Thank you all so much. No matter where you are, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Appreciate you all. Thank you. See you soon.
Yo, that is our. You want to pull up the full logo?
Yeah, pull it.
All right, we'll let Remy pull the full logo. So we actually prospect Hodl & Co. You can find him on. We'll drop his